It's been a while. Today is Saturday, January 23rd, and I was just sitting here thinking I haven't done a video in a while. So I figured I'd just yank out the laptop and fire one off. I think where we left off last time reading the journal was where it looked like we were just about to start fetal intervention but hadn't gotten there yet. So I figured we would catch up or get back to it and get caught up. So today, right off this way, you're not gonna be able to see him, but is my big boy. He's loving on a pillow right now. We've had a busy day. We've run errands all day. He got a haircut at a swank barbershop. It was really cool, and he did really well. The barbershop was called Glory Cuts, I think. Anyway, very nice people. And the guy that cut his hair, Thomas, was so good with him and so patient. But anyway, long story. We'll get back to the journal. So I'm reading now from March 26, 2007. I remember this was a really bad day. I had gotten really down. And started kind of not living in the moment and thinking too far ahead. I was in a bad place, but so we're going to start off there. Hopefully it'll get a little bit more cheery after this. I think it does. Anyway, okay, so here we go. March 26, 2007. I can now understand those that drink alcohol to numb the pain of their life. Not that I would actually do that, but I understand now. Maybe it's just the ache in my heart talking, or maybe even my scrambled brain. I don't know. I've hit a new low, and I'm scared out of my mind. We saw the fetal surgeon at Baylor today. First, we had the Mac Daddy of ultrasounds. It lasted about an hour and a half. Toward the end, 3 doctors came in and to take a look. After it was over, we met with 2 of those doctors in consultation, where they explained what they saw. The bladder has in fact ruptured. This does not mean there has been a blowout of the bladder, more like a pinhole leak. This is causing the massive amount of fluid in the abdomen, thus the upward pressure on the diaphragm. The upward pressure on the diaphragm then causes the lungs, which are up above that, to not develop properly, so they can't grow down. They are just kind of stuck there. And this is called pulmonary hypoplasia. The feet are clubbed, which on the ultrasound it said they were, but they actually weren't. We did see him moving his arms and legs, though. We were able to see, it's kind of embarrassing, his little thingy on the screen. Keep in mind he was a boy. So we were given the 3 options. Terminate the pregnancy. We're not going to do that. The second option, do nothing. With this option, I may or may not carry baby to term. Once Tyler is born, he would only live a few minutes. And number 3, go forward with surgery that would take place at St. Luke's Hospital on Friday morning. I don't remember what day of the week this was. A shunt would be inserted through me via a 14-gauge needle. A 14-gauge needle is pretty darn big. It's a tiny bit smaller than a pencil lead, and imagine that going through your belly. But we'll get to that. As I'm under IV sedation, thank goodness. The shunt will be placed into Tyler's bladder to cause the urine to drain into the amniotic sac where it belongs. They would also drain the abdominal fluid dry, and we would pray that it does not return via the pinhole leak. There is a possibility that I would need up to as many as 3 shunts during the course of this pregnancy. Each shunt includes 1 week of bed rest due to the risk of labor or the rupture of membranes. There is also the usual risk of infection, etc. Even if this is done, there is no guarantee of success later down the road. There could be kidney damage later, even though they look okay now. Once Tyler is born, he would need surgery to unblock the blockage. Then there is the club foot issue, but I can deal with that, and we didn't have to deal with that because it wasn't there. That's the least of our concerns at this point. I know what we need to do and what we should do, but I've got such a hurting heart and scrambled brain, I'm not trusting any decision I make right now. For now, I will be going to work tomorrow and Thursday to at least distract myself and return to some sense of normalcy. Thank you to everyone for their kind words, prayers, hugs, tears, etc. Brad and I have never experienced such hurt, pain, sadness, and fear in all of our lives, and we would not wish this upon our worst enemy. For now, pray for us, for Tyler, and for his doctors. Just pray, and pray hard. Carmen. Then, it looks like 2 days later, I made another journal entry, and it says, we have an appointment today at 2 p.m. with the surgeons that will do the surgery. We will discuss at length what it will involve, risks, etc. Pray that we make the right decision. There is really no easy decision to make in this case. Thank you for your continued prayers and support. We love you. Carmen. Later that day, after the appointment, the 2 p.m. appointment, it says, the news was not good today. The doctor at Baylor, Dr. Moise, scanned me again, my 7th one. By the way, I had 28 ultrasounds total during my first pregnancy. He found the bladder was not distended or filled up as we were hoping it would be. The thought is that there is the possibility of the rupture. No, wait, I'm sorry. There is a possibility that the rupture is further up in the system, in the ureters, or even one of the kidneys. It's kind of bad news, but it wasn't. It wasn't up that far. Ultimately, there is no way to know if the rupture is further up the pipes. With the bladder not being distended, Dr. Moise says he is 99% sure he could not puncture the bladder to get the shunt in, because it's kind of like hitting a balloon or bobbing for apples, is what he said. The bladder would just move out of the way because of the size of the needle used. The other surgeon, Dr. Johnson, was out of town at that time, but they have been talking about my case, and he has suggested that the shunt be inserted into Tyler's abdomen. This, however, comes with risks. There is a chance that it would only work for a week and a new one would be needed. Now he's had one last for 6 weeks. Second, just because of the location and the body's need to protect itself from foreign objects, much like rejection in transplants, Tyler's body might wall off the shunt, rendering it inoperable, meaning we'd have to do another one. I would go home the next day to bed rest. I will be allowed to shower and lay on the couch, but Dr. Moise says, and I quote, don't go to the mall or anything like that. I wasn't going to anyway. Okay, options. Number 1, terminate. Not going to happen. Number 2, do nothing. Dr. Moise was very kind and gentle on this point. He told me he would totally understand if this should be the option chosen, and even said, I give you permission if that's what you need to choose this option. He was clear in saying that he's not saying to choose this option, but that he would understand and be agreeable should we choose this. This option, it is 100% assured that Tyler would go be with Jesus only minutes after birth. Number 3, go for surgery. Dr. Moise told us that he would do as much or as little as we wanted him and Dr. Johnson to do. He also said that once we reach the point, if we reach it at all, that my health would be in danger, he would tell us, and all efforts on their part would cease at that point. Let's see, I just lost my place. After we left the consultation room, Brad had to stop off at the men's room. I just stood in the hallway and broke down. When he returned, and I'm going to pause here for a second. And I'm back. Minor interruption here. So anyway, okay, after we left the consultation room, Brad had to stop off to the men's room. I just stood in the hallway and broke down. When he returned, I said, Brad, I want to die. We stood in the hallway for about 5 minutes or so until I could collect myself. My heart is in so much pain right now, and I don't know what to do. That was a bad day. Let me say right now that I do not feel as if I'm going to hurt myself. My heart is breaking, and my emotions are so raw right now. I think that's the reason I said that. It is much like when we were teenagers and our boyfriend or the love of our life broke up with us and we just knew the world was going to come to an end and we would never find love again. Am I depressed? Of course I am. But nowhere near enough to even consider hurting myself. Okay, now we are giving our decision to Dr. Moise tomorrow. Again, please pray for us, for our hearts, for Tyler, for our decision to be the right one, and for our doctors. We so need peace right now. We need the love of Jesus to just engulf us and tell us everything will be okay, and I'll keep you posted. So this is the next day. We have a good morning, all. We have made the decision to go forward with surgery. I emailed Dr. Moise this morning and got a reply almost instantly. That was the cool part about him. You could email anytime and they would email you back, answering your questions or just whatever you emailed them about. The fetal surgery coordinator, who just happens to be his wife, will be calling me to discuss pre-op stuff. I don't have an exact time yet, but yesterday Dr. Moise said it would take place in the afternoon and I would stay overnight at St. Luke's. Once I find out details, I will post another update to let you know. And on here, I wish you could see this, it says, oh, here we go. So right now, this was March 29th, 2007. So I think what I'm going to do is kind of pause it there and get back with you in my next video. This is the third installment today. The next video, of course, will be number 4. So we will pick back up then. So by the way, if I didn't say it at the beginning of the video, which I don't think I did, my name is Carmen. Welcome to my life. And this is the third installment of reading Tyler's Caring Bridge journal when he was having all kinds of problems in utero. So we go into a little bit more detail. Is there more detail? We go into a little bit more further into what happened during the surgery coming up, and then starts the NICU adventure. I've got some really cool stuff, some photos to show off planned for those videos, and I can't wait to share them with you. So do me a big favor, like this video, hit the subscribe button, turn on the notifications, and tell your friends. Share this with people. If you know anyone that has a problem pregnancy, share this with them. So tell them to subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to get this going. So if I can just help one person, it'd be cool. Okay. So do that for me, please. Thank you. I hope everybody's having a great start to their new year. It's gotta be better than last year. So happy 2021. Tyler's over here kind of singing a little bit. So I'm going to get back to him. You guys have a great Saturday, a great weekend, and a great next week.